What a match there. Welcoming you on 360 from Trust TV. I'm Eache. Time to take you around the world of sports. Looking at our ladies doing so well over there in Benin City, the CAF Champions League for women, as they were able to win their game qualifying for the final. Well, right now we look at those stories alongside Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Good morning, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here.
Yes, let's start with our ladies. After all, our guys seem not to be getting it right when it comes to sport. We'll start with the first story. CAF Women Champions League playoff. Delta Queens FC beat Atlético at least FC there to face Ampem Dakoa of Ghana. In final, Ampem Dakoa of Ghana won their own match 6-1 against Sam Nel of Benin Republic. But our own team, Delta Queens, they've really shown like millions time in this competition. They've won 3 matches in all after playing 3 games. They won against US Fire of Burkina Faso and also did well against Nel of Benin Republic. Right now, they also did well against Atlético FC of Cote d'Ivoire in a 3-2 result. They are 5-goal thriller. Tough one for them, but they were able to triumph in that game. And now they face a big one, a Herculean task against Ampem Dakoa of Ghana, who did well, winning their own game 6-1, and that's a big match to come. But first of all, let's celebrate the fact that Delta Queens, they were able to get to the final of this competition.
Yes, they deserve the praises, and we need to really celebrate them. It's not easy winning 3 of your matches without losing any. It shows that them winning the Nigeria Women Football League is not by chance, it's not by luck, it's something that they prepared for. So that's why they are representing the country. However, there's still a lot of work to do. They are playing a Ghanaian team, but you know, anytime Nigeria and Ghana we are playing, it's always, the rivalry is just too much. So they need to look at them very well. And we are talking about a team who are goal machine. If you look at their first 3 matches, they've scored about 14 goals. So that shows that scoring is not their problem. And defensively also, they are very, very good. And that is what we are kind of lacking at our own Delta Queens. So the coach needs to look at the tactics of what he needs to do. Because winning the match, it's very important for them to be able to qualify for the WAFU B to represent the region in the preparation for the CAF and tournament. But I have the confidence that the ladies, they've not been disappointing us, and they're not going to disappoint us this time around. Yes, it's going to be an Herculean task, but do they have what it takes to win the match, to try on? I'll say capital yes, they have what it takes to win the match.
Now, taking it from you there, as you said, they have what it takes to win. And we know that anytime Nigeria face Ghana is beyond the battle of jollof rice. Now, this is a big battle because anytime we meet in any lifestyle, whatever it is, if it's football, music, everything, the rivalry is not from here, as we say. Now, our ladies, if we look at it, just like we mentioned, we won our games. Yes, we won convincingly. First game 3-0, 2-0. The third one was tough for them. They had to come from behind. They were trailing Atlético FC of Cote d'Ivoire before they actually got to win that game 3-2. Now, they face Ampem Dakoa of Ghana, who right now are doing everything possible to send a signal to our camp, Delta Queens, that we've come here to win this competition. And if you check, we've been the snag blocking Ghana from actually attending the main CAF women competition so far. So this time around, it seems they seem to be more determined. Looking at the way they've been scoring goals, Delta Queens, do you think they have what it takes really to fight against Ampem Dakoa?
They do have what it takes, and they should approach the game not as a revenge. Yes, we've been stopping them from qualifying for the competition. However, they too stop us from going
to the World Cup.
So it's 50
tit for tat.
It's tit for tat. It's 50-50. And what I think the coach needs to look at now is to look at the strategy of how to stop them from playing their games. Once you force your opponents from playing their games, they will be forced to play your own game. And once they play your own game, you are better in your own game than them. That is just the simple strategy that he needs to look into. He needs to look into, okay, they score freely. They score freely because they don't want to defend or what. So they're going to come all out for us. That's the truth. So what we need to do is to subdue the game in the next 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, rather, if you didn't allow them to play their game, if you try and frustrate them in a very good way, I think we can have an edge. And also, we should try as much as possible to make use of our chances, because that's one thing that we are lacking also. We should try as much as possible that if we have 4 shots on goals, we try and score at least 2 out of it. And then our defense, it should be compact. They should work as a team. That communication and coordination is very paramount important, because like rightly said, and this is not about qualifiers, this is about Nigeria and Ghana, and I think they are still pained the way we send them away in the 1980s. Ghana must go. So up to now, they are still pained about it. So anytime they have an opportunity to rival Nigeria,
ready to deal with us.
They are ready to deal with us. But they should know that we are their big brothers, because we are the giants of Africa, and that we're going to show them during the competition. The
rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria it's really from Pluto or Uranus. Big one there. Looking at the fact that Ampem Dakoa will be facing Delta Queens over there in the final of the CAF Women playoff taking place in Benin City before the main competition starts. But right now, we just hope that our ladies will do us proud against Ampem Dakoa, who have been scoring so freely in this competition. Well, giving you updates concerning the matches played over there in Benin City at Samuel Ogubulia Stadium, where the women are really battling themselves when it comes to football. And now we quickly talk about tennis. For those who love tennis, it's happening live over there in US. They call it US Open, Flushing Meadows, as some people call it. Different centers for tennis. Novak Djokovic back to world #1 after US Open first game win. He was able to do well. Last year, he couldn't come because of COVID issue. But right now, he's back and he seems to be ready for this. He will be facing a big one. Will he be able to dislodge if himself and Carlos Alcaraz get to the final? Because both of them won't be meeting at all due to the fact that, well, they are seeded 1 and 2, and it will be a tough one. Big one for Novak Djokovic, who is right now trying to see how he can equal Margaret Court's 24 Grand Slam win. A big one for him. He has won 23, and he wants to actually equal that particular record against Margaret Court. For the way it is right now, the man of the moment, Novak Djokovic, is not stopping at all. He was able to win 3 straight sets in the game he played against Alexander in that particular encounter. Now, let's look at the result of the Women's Open. That's US Open quickly. Victoria Azarenka won 6-1, 6-2 against Fiona Ferro. Carolina Muchova 6-4, 6-0 against Tom Sanders, who has Tom's was not strong enough to actually withstand the power from Carolina Muchova. Belinda Bencic did well 6-2, 6-4 against Kamila Rakimova, and Daniel Collins also dislodged Linda Frovatova. What's a tongue twisting them there? 6-2, 6-0 to win that game in those result of women on US Open Day 1. Quickly, let's look at the result for men as we actually showcase the man of the moment, Novak Djokovic, dislodging Alexander Muller 6-0, 6-2, 6-3 to win all his 3 sets in that particular encounter. Good one for Novak. He actually started on a very good note. And you have Hugo Dellien also trailing. It was actually 12 in the 3 set, 3-6, 3-6, 1-6 against Borna. Ugojo there. And Stefanos Tsitsipas did well 6-2, 6-3, 6-4 against Milos Raonic, who fought hard, but it wasn't good enough as it was dislodged by Stefanos Tsitsipas. Just to give you updates concerning tennis at the US Open as it's happening over there, the continuation of these games will be on today. Matches will be on, games will be on, as some people call it, and it's a tough one for some of them who will be fighting hard to see how they can do it. Iga Swiatek is still there. Will she be able to do it? The home girl, Coco Gauff, is also there, trying to see if she can do it for her country, US, over there in the US Open. Just to give you update concerning that, but for Novak Djokovic, he seems not to be resting on his oars at all. He wants to clear everything, meet up with Margaret Court, 24 Grand Slam, and also set another standard.
Okay, and I think this is an opportunity for him also to win the tournament that he last won in 2018. Since 2018, he has now won the US Open, and then he has someone to contend with. That's Akares, that's the current title holder of the US Open, who won it last year. So it's going to be very interesting. And from the matches that have been played so far, or from the game that have been played so far, there's no surprises. You don't get surprised until you get to the semi-final and the final. That is when you see the unthinkable happening. So I think, as far as I'm concerned now, he's looking at how to get to his 4th US Open title. He has won it 3 times, so he's looking for how to get it to the 4th time. And what a beautiful way to end the 4th Grand Slam, which happens to be the end of the Grand Slam in the calendar year. So let's see what happens. But to be honest with you, from the surprises we've seen for the past 1 and 2 years when it comes to US Open, we can't give it a shot that, oh, it's going to be fun. Novak will be the one to win the competition. Surprises can come in, but he is the man to beat by everybody.
He's the man to beat by everyone. Everyone seems to be ready to fight against Novak Djokovic. Still a big one there. Big boys ready to fight hard to see who they can, maybe they will dislodge Novak. And also Carlos Alcaraz is really edging to see if he can get to the final. If he gets to the final, that would be a big one. But though it's still early to call now, they are just trying to try themselves out in this competition. Just to give you an update there, and it can be very interesting when you see a football analyst actually analyzing tennis at times.
Maybe we should call it, that's why they call it sports analyst, not football analyst. But as we all know, football is the beautiful bride of sport. There's no you talk about sport without talking about football. So that's what makes it special.
And to be an all-rounder, it's always good to also know about other sports.
Definitely it is.
What's the way to go? Novak Djokovic just get you at least. Let's see, maybe he can get you beaten. We'll throw some banter in the studio there. We'll quickly move away from tennis. A lovely sport there. Let's talk about football again, but this time around, some matches were played on Monday. Let's look at the result of those games that were played on Monday. Getafe actually pipped Alaves 1-0, where Atlético Madrid, they went on rampage. It was 7-0, where they really did so well there in that particular game. Looking at the fact that they were able to win 7-0 to defeat Rayo Vallecano, nearly spelling the entire spelling of Rayo Vallecano there. Salernitana in over the Italian Serie and play 1-0 draw against Udinese. Cagliari 0. Inter Milan, the Nerazzurris as they call them, they really they conquered 2-0 in that game. Right now trying to show why they are one of the best when it comes to Italian Serie A. But quickly we look at, we focus on La Liga right now. Let's quickly look at how the table is right after those 2 matches were played. A good one for Atlético Madrid. They really went on rampage, doing the best they could do in that particular game, 7-0. You look at Atlético Madrid, it was as if they were playing at home. 7 goals.
Okay, and the beautiful thing about football nowadays is that there's nothing like home advantage or whatever. Most of these players, they are used to the crowd, they are used to the intimidation or what have you when it comes to the home team supporting their players. That's why they are professional. That's why you have to have the experience and the exposure before they call you a professional. You don't look at that. The only way you can silence them is by giving them that whitewashing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I'm leading you by 7-0 and you are still chanting, I'm less concerned. However, I hope Atlético Madrid have not scored all their goals yesterday
against Rayo.
And also, if you look at the match, it shows that Atlético Madrid, they really meant business this time around. And them and Real Madrid, the way they are moving, the way they started this season, I think it's a very good way to start their season. Real Madrid, as this season is concerned, they've won their 3 matches, 9 points. Atlético Madrid, they are trailing behind. Then also we have Barcelona is trailing behind also. So it's like they don't want to leave any stone unturned. And the good thing about what happened yesterday, it shows that almost everybody in Atlético Madrid team can score a goal. 7 goals by 7 different players. So that shows that the goal can come from anywhere. When you have a team that is that compact, that everybody is goal-minded, either you are a defender, you are a defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder, you are a winger, even you are a centre back, you still have the opportunity when there is set pieces, corner, you can go in, give assist or score. It makes a team to be very. That is one thing that Manchester City, that's what they have. Yes, their goal machine, we know, robotic Haaland. But however, apart from Haaland, look at the last match against Sheffield United over the weekend. That shot, that bazooka shot, came from Rodri from nowhere. Nobody expected it. So once you have a team that is well compact like that they can score from left, right, and center, I think it will be a very good one. So for Atlético Madrid, I think they started in a very, very good way. So let's see how it goes. Just 3 matches. They still have 35 matches to play. Anything can still happen. Look at Sevilla. Currently now, they've not won any of their 3 matches. They've lost the 3 matches this season. So that doesn't mean they're going to be relegated. It's still early to call, but when you start very well, just like your when you are away, I forgot to mention that your team, Arsenal, they've started making the initial gra again. They've started winning and making noise. So the fact that you started well doesn't mean you're going to end well, and the fact that you didn't start well doesn't mean you're not going to end well. So the case of Sevilla, they're not starting well, but doesn't mean they're not going to end well. And the case of your team, Arsenal, they started well, doesn't mean they will not finish the way they finished last season. So that's football for you. A lot of things can happen in between. January transfer is there, injuries there, FA Cup there, Carabao Cup, they are starting that tonight also. So a lot of injuries, a lot of issues can come in. Well,
actually, I did not want to say anything about Arsenal, Chelsea, but you actually now you've woken up the giant from sleep. But really, earlier on you were mentioning the bazooka that Rodri played.
Yes.
They have Man City. They have almost all the players can also score, even though their robotic Haaland is there. Yes. Atlético Madrid, they have their. Where's Chelsea? What have they done with all the money? Who is their own bazooka?
Okay, you didn't watch the last match?
No, I didn't watch.
Oh,
I don't watch. But to let you know that you should just let Arsenal be on their own.
Okay, did you know the new striker now in Chelsea?
Who is the new striker?
Jackson. You've not heard about him?
I thought this was Bolly.
You've not seen him? Watch out for that guy in the next.
I just hope, like someone said, that I hope Nicholas Jackson will no longer be dancing Michael Jackson and then he will score all the goals he needs to score. Just to throw some banter there. We've been looking at the matches played over there at the Monday in La Liga. Well, quickly, let's go back to that particular table and look at how it's standing right now. Talking about La Liga there. Well, even though Real Madrid and Atlético Madrid are really trying to see how they can quickly run away with a lot of points, you see, too early to call. It's a big one because it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. Sevilla that you are seeing down there, according to Olawale, that can still pick up the pieces and move higher to the top. They can still do it. It's a big race to run. 35 matches to go, and it's still very early to call. Girona, Barcelona, Atlético Bilbao, Rayo Vallecano, all trailing. You look at the bottom of the table, Las Palmas, Real Mallorca, Celta de Vigo, Almeria, Sevilla, they can still pick up the pieces. And right now, just have to be very careful. For Bellingham, Jude, still topping there among the top scorers. And Morata is there with 3 goals there from Bellingham. 4, you have Christian Stuani, 2 Ferran Torres, and you have Gaka Gruzeta. What the name there? 2 goals. And right now, just to give you update concerning the La Liga, you see the assist point there. Alex Baena, Alfonso Pedreza, John Grudi, Luis Roya, and Nico Williams all supporting in the La Liga score goals there. Quickly, let's look at Serie A. Serie A is also getting juicy right now, considering the fact that Inter Milan won their game just yesterday 2-0 as they were able to win that particular game. Let's look at how their own table is actually standing right now for AC Milan. Well, the Rossoneri's also are trying to quickly work hard, just the way Real Madrid are topping over there in Spain. They are topping, followed by Napoli, Inter Milan. After that win yesterday, they are now third on the log, followed by Hellas Verona, Fiorentina. And you look at the bottom, Lazio, Empoli, Sassuolo, Udinese. Well, top of the scorers, we have Lautaro Martinez, who was able to score yesterday. He's top there with 3 goals. Olivier Giroud, 3 goals. Victor Osimhen, our own, is also on the top scorer sheet with 3 goals. Abdul Harouf, Andre Belotti with 2 goals apiece. And you have the Lorenzo, Banter, Duncan, Melo, and Biraghi all supporting there. Looking at just to give you the wrap-up of match day 3 in the Serie A. Well, from the way it is right now, you see early to call, but I love the fact that Osimhen's club, Napoli, are not dropping the baton at all.
Okay, I think it's going to be very interesting again in Serie A this season. And why do I say so? There will be competition between Leonardo Martinez and Victor Osimhen. And you can see that it has started already. Yes, Olivier Giroud will be there, but the age is not that on his side. It's get to that point, that stage, that he will be tired, and both Osimhen and Martinez will still continue where they stopped last season. Then if you look at the table also, this is almost how they finished last season, but not in the same order. Now, the beautiful thing we are seeing this season again is that we are seeing another newcomer that is occupying the 4th position. Because every season, you see that surprising team coming from nowhere to compete with the top 4, top 6, or top 8. And from there, you see them making their waves going forward, following year, upper year, and they'll make their name. So it's very good. We're going to see how it looks like. Napoli, I'm very happy that they didn't drop the way. They didn't drop the baton, because they are the team to beat. If you are a defending champion, everybody that plays with you, they want to beat you. Even if you are not getting anything, you get that pride that, oh, the defending champion, I just do what? I just do my match over them. I got the 3 points, or I got a point over them. So between Inter, AC, Napoli, even last year that they are currently on 17th on the table, doesn't mean that's where they're going to be. They're going to find themselves up also. And don't forget, Juventus, they didn't have the problem they had last season, that they got points deducted. So that means this season, Serie A will be as much as interesting as we are going to have in Premier League. So there are leagues to watch.
League to watch there, tough one there. Just give you an update concerning Italia, Serie A, and Spanish La Liga too. Just look at all those games that have been played. Match day 3, and a big one there in the EPL. Manchester City are really ready to run away. They are really doing so well, and I know a lot of blue-collar fans out there are also hoping that they can do it, but they just have to up their ante. It's not about buying players; it's about performing very well. I wish you can see the studio as a fan is already looking looking down on the fact that.
1-1.
This is 1-0. Oh my goodness. Let's just run through some 2 transfer stories for you. Starting from the home scene. Well, the man that has traveled so much around Nigerian league, they call him Baba Ganaru, right now has been appointed as the coach of Gombe United. Mohamed Baba Ganaru appointed as Gombe United manager. He will be taking over to see what he will be doing concerning that team. What will they be doing? The Scorpions team, as they call them. They will be trying to see how they can work harder. Last season, they fought hard. They came 7th on the log. But right now, they have a new man at the end of affairs. Can he turn things around for Gombe United?
Well, I think there's already a KPI set for him. Last season, we finished 7th position, right? And this season, we're not taking anything less than where we finished last season. If possible, try and qualify also that we can play in continental football. Top 4 should be their aim this time around. And we're talking about a coach who has the experience, who has the maturity, who has done something similar like that before, and he can still do it. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they have what it takes to do it, provided the funds are made available to him. Because that's one thing also that's very important when you're talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League. The funds to motivate the player, to put the right structure in places are not really
not owing them. You know, when you owe these players and they don't have anytime they remember that have not even been settled, going there, they will be demoralized.
Not even about remembering. How do you want them to transport themselves from their house to go to the training pitch? Do you know the cost of fuel right now? Do you know the cost of transportation right now? So you can't expect them to do that. So that issue needs to really be looked into. They need to be motivated. We're talking about motivation this time around. Let's forget about all the Turanci that we normally speak. That money is not motivation. This time, this economy, this Nigeria, money is number one motivation for anybody, including you.
I'm sure you're trying to get it to be 1-1 anyway. But right now, let's take the last straw of the show that has to do with a man that has been with Chelsea. He's always going on and off, but right now, he could be moving to AS Roma because a deal has been struck. £5 million loan deal with Roma for one away forward, Romelu Lukaku, the Belgian, the big man.
Well, I think it's a very good one for him, and he has to stick to a league that he really understands better, not the Premier League. Then he has to go and meet a coach who he has been with before, and a coach who has done a lot of, I don't want to use the word rehabilitation for most of the players by turning them into beasts. Look at Tony Abraham right now. Look at also this defender from Manchester United that is Roma right now. So he knows how to do that. Smalling, he knows how to do that one also. So as far as I'm concerned, I think he made the right choice, staying in the league that he knows how to play, staying with a coach who knows how to bring out the best in player. In whatever form you want to criticize Mourinho, he will do the right thing by making sure that you deliver for him. So a good one for him, but a bad one for Chelsea. A player that you signed in 2021 for £97.4 million. 2 years down the line, look at where it is. It's not a good business for them.
Yeah, but they made the money from Eden Hazard. So it's it's still for another 0 there. Well, just to wrap it up here on the show, 360 Sport, we've been giving you updates concerning what's happening in the world of sport with Olawale Peters. It's always good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here with you.
Thanks for having at least joined us on the show. I'm Adeni Ajusafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.